unbox, transform, and roll out.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whatever part of the world or for whatever time you're watching this. Welcome back to the Totally Cool YouTube channel. Today I finally get a chance to own and get my hands on something that I never thought was even possible. It's a dream come true for an 80s kid like me, and I never thought they'd have the technology for this. I never thought they'd even mass produce it, but I'm glad this day finally came where I could get a chance to add to my toy collection one of what could be one of the crown jewels to any toy collection. So it's going to be an hour and a half drive to get to where we're going, but it's going to be well worth it. So stay tuned and see until the end of the video what we have in store for you. So anyway, let's go. So we're about to leave, but before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to click on the bell button so that you can get notifications when we post new content. Also, as a public safety reminder, COVID is still out there. There's still a pandemic, and I just want to remind you to only leave the house when absolutely necessary or when you have to run errands. And if you do, protect yourself, wash your hands, bring alcohol, and follow your country's recommended safety health protocols. So I just can't talk and drive, but I'll see you later, and stay tuned. Okay guys, after an hour and a half on the road, we're finally here. We're just a few minutes away from being able to finally touch this one-of-a-kind item. And stay tuned. We're about to get out of the car and get into the mall. By the way, we're in Green Hills Mall. I'll put the name of the shop later, but see you in a few minutes. So now we're home, and after a post-trip shower, just to make sure we wash away any viruses that could have picked up outside, we're ready to unbox and show you the crown jewel of my collection. So let's get to it. If you can see, it came in its own brown box. It's got the Autobot logo in front, and it's got Transformers on the side. It's got a warning that it's got a battery, so it pretty much tells you that it's battery operated. So let's open this baby up.
So first off, you can see it's really well packaged. It's got nice cardboard fittings inside to prevent it from moving around. It's got some foam sidings just to make sure it stays in place. There's also its own box. It's colored black, and it's got this paper/plastic covering to make sure you don't ding the box. So let me pull this out, and it's even got these corner protectors to make sure that the box corners are not dinged and they're not scrunched up. So as we pull this out, you just got to be careful because it might just slide out. First off, I want you to see is this. The top of the box, it's got your matte finish, and it's got the Autobot logo. And we're going to slide this out really, really carefully. Okay, just want to pull out using the plastic as your guide, and there it is. So be very careful. Be very, very careful. All these things, all these box fillers that it came with, you can put it back in the box just so that if you want to store it later on, I don't know why, if you want to store it back in the brown box, except this box itself looks pretty amazing. First off, let me stand it up for you, just to give you a little review.
Okay, now that we've seen all four sides of the box, let's just stop for a minute and breathe this in, take this all in. If you were an 80s kid like me, And that closing credit of the Transformers where Optimus Prime is, as a truck, is driving towards you on your screen and then just transforms. That's an image that stays in your mind for a long time, and you don't really outgrow it. You know, I've loved the idea of seeing Optimus Prime on the big screen when they did the live action with the first one and even the Bumblebee series, because the Bumblebee movie had more cartoon accurate representation of the Optimus Prime that I grew up with. And when I saw this in 2019 or 2020 at the start of the pandemic, I was like, I gotta have it. It feels like you're opening a treasure. And it is. So you've got a nice plastic handle. That's in what appears to be a hard styrofoam case. It's got an embossed Autobot emblem in front saying authentic Transformers from Robosen. And the side looks like a suitcase. It's got tabs on it, pretty much like what a suitcase is going to look like. So we tip it to the side. I would assume you just have to pop this open. Same thing on the other side. And then, you know, it feels like angels are saying right now when I'm opening this. Oh. Very careful. Oh man, you have to be here to really feel the magic of what's happening right now. In your hands is an Optimus Prime limited edition collector's special. So there is a case, styrofoam case, I think. It's got, again, Optimus Prime's emblem, and inside is, whoa, that's nice. Inside you will find the ion cannon, ion rifle, and his battle axe. I'll give you a little trivia about the battle axe. It also has accessories quick guide. I believe this rifle has a battery that you can put in, and it's gonna do something really, really cool later on. So let's get to it. I'll set this aside, and then just look into the other knickknacks that come with it. On this side, you have your charger. When you charge it, I believe this is going to turn red if it's not fully charged, and if it's going to turn green if it is finally fully charged. Put that back in. And then we have here what appears to be a cable. I'm not going to open that yet. So these are your accessories. I think these are either the USB cable that you can attach. Yes, this is a USB cable, and this appears to be some kind of blade. And this one is an Autobot emblem thing. Not sure. Now, the key to this is, since this has servo motors, if it's not on, if it's not powered up, the motors are disengaged, so they're pretty soft. They're pretty flexible, so to speak. So you got to be careful. Now, this is Transformers quick start guide. Now, I should have worn gloves because the oil in my hands is just really messing this up, but it's messing up the matte finish, you know. But then I don't intend to let this one go. I want to keep this for myself or give it to a very nice relative when I'm gone. Quick start guide. It has, we'll get it to that later. And then you also have the instruction manual. So you have these two in this package. Let's close that up and set that aside. For the highlight, and I can't believe this is happening to me. Guys, seriously, you gotta be here to feel it. There's magic, it's electric. to have this in my hands after just dreaming about this for so long is unbelievable. It's just, ooh, it's kind of heavy. It's unbelievable. You gotta be careful to pop up the legs too, because like I said, the servo motors are disengaged. And it's got some plastic covering, most of its sides and most of the parts that would, no, let me stand up, parts that would rub against other portions of the box to basically just to prevent it from scratching, which I hope I'm not doing. Okay, let's close this up, lock the tabs on the side, and then put that fancy box to the side. Be very careful, it's pretty heavy, probably around 2 or 3. So you see when I say the servo motors are disengaged, they're not locked into place. Okay, so it's kind of floppy, Optimus Prime. It's not as sturdy as you think it could be. So let's set this aside and look at the highlight. So this is Robosen Optimus Prime out of the box, first edition. I think it's a 3rd release, but it's a 1st edition. Let me show it to you from all angles first. There we go. Now I'm not sure if this has a factory charge. It's supposed to have some factory charge. Right here you see the instructions on where the power button is. If you take a closer look, now let's go to the side. Wow, it is kind of heavy. And then the back. Now it's funny because I never thought Optimus Prime was going to be this big, and I didn't think. I mean, in the other videos, other photos I've seen, it doesn't look as intimidating, but it is. Now the tires are made of rubber, so you can play with it outside. I wouldn't recommend that because they can get really dirty real fast. But it's easier to clean than plastic tires, and you don't see a lot of wear. Now the plastic is a little bit on the chrome gunmetal side, and you know, this is that image coming at you on that screen. Closing credits of the Transformers. Like you hear the background music, and it's coming at you, and he transforms. That's the image that comes to mind. Now, I'm sorry, I think the other item that I thought were blades were actually smokestacks. They are supposed to be here. Optimus Prime with his signature smokestacks on his arm. Now, let's see if this guy powers up. It's supposed to. To power it up, you just have to press on this for 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Greetings. I am Optimus Prime.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the voice of no other and the one and the only Peter Cullen. Peter Cullen has voiced Optimus Prime in so many different series and in the actual movies that, for me, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody else, but Optimus Prime is Peter Cullen. And Peter Cullen is Optimus Prime. There's no other way to go about it. Now, let me take off these plastic insertions. Okay, now as I mentioned earlier, what I thought were blades were actually smokestacks, and this is what they look like. Okay, they're gonna snap into this part, I think. Okay, yeah, I think they're gonna snap into place here. I'll put them in later. But one thing I have to remind you, once you open it up, the plastics are still inserted. You can't remove them because the servo motors are locked into place. So you got to power it down again, and then that allows you to move the arms and the other parts, and then you can pull out the plastic. So just put them back into place, and we're going to power it up again. I don't want to remove this tab yet, just yet. I just want to enjoy it for a while. So press for 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. It's going to light up.
Greetings, friend. I am Optimus Prime.
Second time I did that and I'm still having goosebumps. Okay. Now, just have to be very careful. You have to put it on a very stable desk or surface. Now I can't transfer. I can't move it here. I can probably place it on this side. I hope this is enough space for him to maneuver. If not, then I'm in trouble. So to start off, I haven't read the manual yet, but just let's give this one a go. Call him. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Yeah, he responds. Transform. Oh my God. Okay, now since this was bigger than I anticipated, it wouldn't really fit the makeshift desk that I have. He decided to bring it down the floor, and he just moved on its own. That was awesome. Now, again, if you want to command using your voice, just have to call him. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
And when he responds, you give him a command. Megatron.
Megatron must be stopped. No matter.
Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Transform. Now, normally when he transforms, it's supposed to be facing towards where the truck mode's supposed to transform to where his face used to be, but it doesn't do that. It's one of the things that it's one of the small things that they could have done better. But other than that, I just gotta be very careful. Now, I decided to move to the floor because I wanted to show you something. You gotta move it like this. So I'm gonna turn it towards you. And then, hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Roll out.
Let's roll.
Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Transform. Hey, Optimus Prime. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Step forward. Move forward.
Let's go.
Hey, Optimus Prime. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Turn left. Turn left. Turn left. Now, you don't have to say, hey, Optimus Prime all the time. You just have to make some commands in rapid succession so it'll follow. Now, I'll try to do it. I'll try to give it a command. Now, once it moves into this resting mode and it looks like it's breathing or he's breathing, that's when you have to repeat the, hey, Optimus Prime. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
And it says, greetings, turn right. Okay, he needs a little bit more knowledge on what's right and what's left. Turn right. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Turn right. Now he's turning right. Hey, Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Attack.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, just a quick review. Like I said, the tires are rubber. They look like the plastic chrome. Now, I believe you can remove this for a more cartoon accurate depiction of Optimus Prime. But everything else, I really have no complaints about this figure. You see that you have the lights on top as he would be in his cab mode, and you see the tail lights also lighting up. I just want to try this one. Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Am I your friend? Okay, he doesn't know that yet. Happy birthday.
Greetings from Cybertron. I am Optimus Prime. I am granting you permission to have the greatest birthday the universe has ever seen. Roll out.
Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Attack!
Prepare for battle.
Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Megatron.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Report.
Decepticons detected.
Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Guard.
The Autobots need your help to defeat the Decepticons.
Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Energon.
Energon.
I may be low on Energon, but I still have enough to conquer you, Megatron.
Protect.
Protect. Hey Optimus Prime.
Greetings.
Protect.
Protect.
We will always protect Cybertron and Earth.
Okay, so those were the few things you could do with Prime without the... Yeah, he does that. So, don't freak out when he does. But that's some of the few things you can do with Prime on the default settings that he has, pre-programmed voice commands. We'll do another tutorial video on what other things you can do, but what we've really left out are his key functions, like you can scan the QR code in the manual, and you can download the app, the Robosen app, on Google Play or on the App Store, and you can use your mobile phone to act basically as a remote control. So we'll get into that into our next videos. In the meantime, just want to look into other features, just a few more features. As I mentioned, you can charge this robot. It's not really an action figure, it's really a robot. So if he's in his truck mode, this would be the front end, and all you gotta do is pop open this side, and you could plug this in to your phone, and then there's also a port where you could charge it. So based on the manual, it says that you can, for full play, you charge it for about 2 to 3 hours. And as I mentioned, the charger would have a light. We'll show you that in the next video. But then after 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours of charging, it would turn green. That means it's fully charged, and you can proceed to play. It's got about a good hour, hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours of playtime for every charge. So I think that's enough for really exploring the other functions. So for this video, it's a quick unboxing, it's a quick toy review, and I think it's a sign for me to explore more features. Yeah, again, he does that after a few seconds that he's not being asked to do something. So I think that's his hero pose. Anyway, I'm gonna have so much fun with this, and I hope you would also get a chance to get your hands on this one-of-a-kind, really collectible item. And hats off to Hasbro for coming up with a collaboration with Robosen. And again, it's just amazing. It's just so cool to have this on your stand or on your display case. But anyway, tune in for other videos that would explore the other features of this robot. But for the meantime, it's good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy collecting, and take care. Bye-bye.